Welcome to another episode of Artificial Idiocy,
where we talk about all things gaming.
As people who game just a bit too much.
I'm Atobe-sama.
I'm Raceland Hawk.
And I'm Quanstein. And here's what we have to say on this episode of Artificial Idiocy. Yeah,
does that turn us into casual gamers? That's the question.
I wouldn't say so.
Do you only want to play the game when, you're really doing something with it, you're getting the action in your face?
Well, how do we define casual gamer? By gaming experience or the game itself? I mean, does a casual gamer only play a certain type of games, or does he only play a game for one specific reason?
I don't find it
that's...
the type of game you play. I distinguish it on how involved you want to get in games.
Yeah, that's one question I had too. Like, you bring up one point I had, which is someone who plays only Halo 3 for 5 years, casual gamer, hardcore gamer, yeah.
Obsessed.
Yeah, I think we can bridge that gap right there. There's casual, there's hardcore, and then there's no life. No life. I would think most World of Warcraft players also operate within that spectrum. But I define casual gaming by more the game titles than the gamer. That's just how I define it. So necessarily play style doesn't factor into it for me. But then again, every single person in the industry has their definition of casual.
Right. So you would define casual as based on the game, not on the play. Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, no, I go more with that. I think it's easier, certainly a lot easier to distinguish a casual game.
I don't know. That's hard to me because like Guitar Hero, like casual or hardcore or.
It is if you've seen any Bamani games. In comparison, it should be considered a casual game.
I don't know. I think.
Come on, the newest one has like a no-fail mode, so you don't even have to try.
Yeah, that would be casual, but then like the way people play those games, it kind of seems hardcore too.
Some people do, but maybe do we say you would play so much in a casual game? Maybe you're just obsessed with it.
Yeah, well,
I mean, a person that plays Peggle for 60 years has like scores and all the leaderboards. I mean, has he made Peggle a hardcore game? No, he's just insane.
Yeah, he would still. Well, he would probably only play in burst anyway, so he would probably still be a casual gamer. But I feel like
is that distinction, like playing in burst, like does that factor into this?
He's still playing the same basic structure of a game.
Yeah.
Like I would probably divide casual to hardcore based on the different mechanics present in games. Like Peggle, Guitar Hero, there's no matter how many times you spice it up, there's one thing you're doing at one point in time. There's one implementation structure, whereas in any other games, more story centric or games that implement different kinds of gameplay. Like there's more variety to it.
So you would say that the more complex the mechanics are, the more hardcore it gets?
The more complex the mechanics or the inherent story or something like that, the deeper the experience goes, yes.
That's exactly what I wanted to say, yes. It's like how willing are you to get involved in all these other aspects of a game that might not just be playing the game.
Absolutely.
But then since we don't have so much time for games, are we going to be less willing to go with all those other things?
Our time schedules making us casual gamers in mentality. I mean, that definitely feels like it during when the stress ramps up.
Yeah.
Despite what I want to be.
But I mean, if we're talking from games perspective, I don't think we're casual gamers at all because we're not playing Wii Fit, we're not playing Wii Music, we're still playing hardcore games.
Right. So could you say because we're gonna actually, say we're scheduling things and you're actually putting games in there as part of your day, then certainly you could hardly be seeing games as just kind of like a side thing, something to do.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just a crazy concept. I mean, we play games just to kick back and have fun, but we us three are actually scheduling to play games. It's just crazy.
Perhaps we're just insane, but I think we're hardcore gamers attempting to adopt a more casual gaming gaming lifestyle. We're not that we want to necessarily. This isn't our intent. But what we have to work with is what the casual gamer does, regardless of schedule. We're kind of shoehorned into that sort of perspective, regardless of what we play and how we play it.
Yeah.
The amount of time we spend on it is much akin to what the casual gamer would do, even if he has free time or she has free time.
Maybe it should be, yes, we don't have free time that we fill with gaming. We have gaming time.
Yeah.
I think that's a good distinction. I think that's an important quote we can put down there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, that's my slogan now. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Do you have that written down? Do you have that? Do you have that in quotes, Atobe? You're gonna copyright that?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, and my mentality doesn't help either, because when I start a game, I have to finish it. Like, that makes it hard. That makes it why I have to schedule gaming time. If I was just like a type of gamer that like starts a game and then like, I'm done with this game, skip to next one.
Yeah, that's also the distinction between casual and hardcore, because hardcore games are usually, at times, at least a major component of them, can be finished, are meant to be finished, are meant to be played through as a whole, whereas a lot of casual games are really centric to this kind of instantly replayable and infinitely replayable structures that don't necessarily adhere to a sort of overall experience. They're just individual components that you could cater to very short bursts of time.
Yep.
Because they don't have an end, you don't feel like you ever have to try to achieve something in the game.
Well, I was actually wanting to go back to a point that Atobe made earlier. Like, there's no inherent reason for completion. There's no overall goal. And I'm not sure, because a lot of casual games do have sort of end goal, I suppose. It's just a much more passive kind of achievement. Like, especially in games like Wii Fit, you have a very basic kind of structure where I want to do this eventually by doing these fun games. Whereas in hardcore games...
Let's not use Wii Fit as an example, because like that's even hard to categorize as a game.
That is true.
Yeah, the Wii makes things different. That's all.
I don't know, but I get what you're saying. Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
No, absolutely not. And perfectly alright. And then the hardcore games, the experience is much more tied to a longer play time, and much more implemented into every aspect of the game. You understand that there's something to complete at all times. There's a consistent motivation. Whereas in casual games, not using Wii Fit, other example. Insert casual game here.
SingStar, I don't know.
The goal is much more simple, much more component centric. There's no overall cohesion to it.
Yeah, the goal is just to play and not really to get through it.
Yeah.
Well, there are usually goals, but they're like achieved really, really short. Like you could achieve it in 2 or 3 minutes.